Hello, 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 eBay sellers. It's Kathy, and I love to be selling. Come on in. We are going to talk all about eBay feedback. And I bet I'm going to give you a couple of tips about eBay feedback that you may not have thought of. So I'm excited about sharing that with you. eBay feedback is always a hot topic, and eBay feedback and the tips I'm going to give you are useful if you have an eBay store or without an eBay store. But it's certainly something I often get questions about in social media. I get questions from my members. I get questions about eBay feedback. So let's talk about eBay feedback. So, um, buyers can leave you eBay feedback. It is optional, and that is the first thing to remember. And especially when you're a new seller, it can be frustrating because you're not going to get feedback on every single item. I don't know any seller, and if you do, please let me know. I don't know any seller of any size that gets feedback on every item. And it seems in the past few years, it's even gone down. Do you know what I mean? So it used to be perhaps you would get feedback on 30% of your sales or 40% of your sales, and it's less and less and less. And it's not about that we're not wonderful sellers. It's just that people don't think about it. They're happy to get their item. They're happy that they have it, and they honestly just don't think about leaving feedback. It's not a reflection on you. It's not a reflection on your quality as a seller, but particularly when you're new. And when I say new, because you may have been on the site for a while and you may be selling very casually, but particularly when you have under like 100 feedback, and particularly when you have under 50 feedback, it's hard because you want to build it up because it helps, and it helps in that when a buyer comes and looks at your items, typically a buyer is going to look at your feedback. Yes, they're going to look at your wonderful listing. Yes, they're going to look at the price. But then I know for myself, and I do shop on eBay just about every day. So I'll look at the price, look at the item, and then I'll flip over and I will look at the seller. Okay. And I'm going to look at their feedback. And as a buyer, what I'm looking for is things like that it was packaged well, that it was as described. And that's why you've got to think like a buyer, is think about if I'm shopping on eBay and I'm buying from somebody, what am I looking for? Now, with things that are highly collectible or perhaps with a luxury item or things that are unusual, price may not be such a point. What they're looking for is that they can count on you. They can count on you for quality. They can count on you for wrapping something well and for shipping it quickly. So, what I do advise when you are a newer seller and perhaps you have under 50 feedback or 100 feedback, a couple of things. If you are an experienced seller, so you sell on other sites, but you're new to eBay, I would do just one line, okay, in your description, new to eBay, but over 5 years as an online seller, or 5 years because you might have a boutique or a little local store that you've had for several years, and now you're starting to sell on eBay. And if you are, welcome to eBay selling, because I do work with retailers and they're very experienced and they absolutely know how to package and ship. They just haven't been selling on eBay. They've had their own website, or they've just been selling direct from their store, and taking orders for customers. So if you do have experience selling on another site or your own store, I would do like one line. Again, you want it to be short and brief because people don't like long descriptions, and just say experienced seller, over 10 years selling, over 5 years selling, new to eBay. Then when I read it, I go, oh, they're an experienced seller, and it builds my confidence. Okay. Now, as a seller, what you can do is just put a little note in the packages when you're shipping and just say, I really appreciate 5-star feedback, your positive feedback when you receive the item. It lets me know that you're pleased with the transaction, and leave it at that. I'll see sometimes people suggest, oh, you should be messaging your buyers, you should be doing this and that. Most people are going to not be too pleased about that. They don't want to get extra emails. They don't want to get a million messages. You know what I mean? Is we're all busy. We don't want, I want to buy my item. and I wanna be happy with my item, and I also wanna come back to eBay and shop some more. So you don't wanna pepper your buyer with a bunch of messages. I think a slip or a note card, I've gotten packages from sellers, and they actually have, like, a business card size card, and on it, it'll say, "Would appreciate your five-star feedback. If you're pleased with the transaction, if you would leave five-star feedback." And that's it. And just know you're just not gonna get feedback on everything, okay? Now, regardless of the size of seller that you are, so my smaller sellers and my larger sellers, it's good to go and look at your feedback. I would suggest once a week. If you wanna do it more than that, that's great, and read through what people are saying. And the reason for that is it lets you know what is important to them. For instance, I was looking at a friend's account, and the feedback that they've got on their account was just as described, well packaged, great seller. As stated, packaged well, prompt shipping, would buy from again. Arrived quickly, exactly as described. And then another buyer complimented the item that they had received, saying, "Absolutely wonderful. This is for a dear friend who adores," and they mentioned the product, "a surprise for her birthday, super transaction." So what am I learning from reading my feedback? That good descriptions matter. People really want the confidence to know that they're getting what they see. So that means that the pictures, the description are important. Good packaging, and sometimes it will cost you a little more. It might go up an ounce or 2 because you're giving it the padding or the extra box. Sometimes when things are fragile, you need to box within a box, and it will cost a little more. So, factor that in whether you're doing free shipping or calculated shipping. But people appreciate good packaging, accurate descriptions, fast shipping, and for this seller, their items were being purchased as a gift. It lets me know that people are shopping with me as a gift. "Hey, how are you?" So, this is whoops, I'm getting messages on my phone. So, what I wanted to suggest is if you're doing social media, and I love social media, it's a great way to attract shoppers to your items. So, whether you're on Facebook, whether you're on Instagram, and you can even do this on Twitter, is create a very simple graphic in Canva, or you can just do text and then just do a nice cheerful picture and let people know the feedback that you're getting. Now, I would not give out the buyer ID, but you can look up the buyer. So let's say it's Kathy Terrill. So Kathy T, and then you do what your buyer said about you. So Kathy, just say, "We were so pleased with our feedback today from Kathy T, saying just as described, well packaged, great seller," and use your feedback on social media. Again, you can do cheerful text graphics, and again, Canva's free, Canva. You can do a pretty picture of just about anything. I mean, it's springtime right now. This is April 2022. I can do a pretty picture of flowers or whatever, and then, do the feedback. And again, I do the person's first name and then their last initial. Okay. Um, and let people know. That way they know, oh, this seller knows how to package well. This seller ships fast, and something like the lovely comment about buying the item for a birthday gift, and just say, "We love it when you shop with us for gifts for your friends." We got this lovely feedback from Lisa commenting, and say what the comment is, and then again, you put up a pretty picture, okay? Again, flowers, spring, if you wanna do a graphic. You could do a picture of your shipping area, especially when they talk about how well you package. Why not take a picture of your shipping area and show, the tape, especially the eBay tape, show the eBay tape, show your packaging. It's great. You can even take and be careful. One thing was when you're taking pictures of your packing area, don't be showing people's names and addresses on shipping labels. So, however, if you're showing off your shipping or showing off your packages, make sure that that is obscured. Okay. So that's wonderful. So, again, encourage people to leave you feedback, particularly when you're a newer seller. And the great way to do that is a nice little card inside with the packaging. when you get fantastic feedback, why not share it on social media? Because again, people are going to be going through and they're like, oh, this person ships quickly. Oh, this person carries items that are great for gifts. It's something else to be posting on Facebook, on Instagram, on Twitter, and lets people know the confidence that other shoppers have in you. Because it's one thing what we say, but there's nothing like when people go, and that's why feedback's so great. They go and look and see buyer after buyer, like with my friend's account I was looking at, saying, "Arrived ahead of time, item was pristine, very pleased. Great items, just as described. Excellent seller, smooth transaction." Again, over again, over again, over again, that positive feedback. And that helps you. Again, it's gonna help you to attract more buyers, and again, if you only have 5 or 10 feedback, but you've got 5 feedback where every single person said, "Wow, just as described, beautifully wrapped, so pleased with my purchase." That's great, and then again, share it on social media because it's a great way to attract more shoppers. Now, right now, because we're right around the end of April, right now is a huge time for Mother's Day shoppers on eBay. More than ever, people love to shop for their moms, and now is the time they're shopping for their moms, and eBay is the perfect place to be shopping for moms. Now, with Mother's Day, there is a huge range of products that are just perfect for Mother's Day. And as a seller, you might just think about certain things because of the gifts that you would typically get for your mom, or if you are a mom that you would receive. Like in your family, it might have been the big thing was to give clothing, or it might have been to give, a pedicure gift certificate. But the truth is with Mother's Day is that there's a huge range of products, everything from, giving mom something for her favorite craft, for her favorite hobby. Yes, clothing, yes, perfumes, but also things like power tools, camping gear, gifts for their pets. So it's a huge range. It's a multi-million dollar opportunity, and I have put together a free guide for you called "What Sells on eBay for Mother's Day?" So if you hop over to my website, ilovetobeselling.com, grab that free guide because it's going to be great for you for getting shoppers right now because you'll go through your products, you'll look at your products and you go, ah, this is perfect for Mother's Day. Or if you have a bunch of unlisted inventory, you can quickly look at it and go, you know what? That would be a perfect Mother's Day gift. Let me pull that out and get it up right now. Also use the Mother's Day gift guide because again, once Mother's Day is over, there's going to be birthdays, there's going to be anniversaries, and again, the wonderful, wonderful gift ideas for moms, for the ladies in your life. So grab that free gift, and again, consider the tips that I gave you on feedback, not only how to get more feedback, but how to use your feedback to attract more and more wonderful shoppers to your items. Great. Thanks, everybody. I'm Kathy, and I love to be selling. Bye-bye.